Today, I'm going to share with you 7 reasons that are the universities and colleges' worst nightmares. And I want to explain to you how we can pivot and we can position ourselves to take advantage of this massive shift that's happening right now. And we're going to find out about one of the fastest growing industries that's going on right now, and nobody's even talking about it. So stay tuned. All right, market disruptors, welcome back to the Tuesday episode where we talk about before we invest, how we can position ourselves to make more money. Of course, on Thursdays, we talk about investing specifically in really high growth stuff, cryptocurrencies and things like that. But today we're talking about before we invest. How do we get more money? How do we set ourselves up in life to make more money so we can invest more money? And so today I want to talk about something really big. One, it's a massive shift that's happening with the way that we learn, 7 reasons why the education system is failing. But really, I'm going to highlight a big shift that's happening and a massive opportunity that nobody's even talking about right now. So to start off, I just kind of want to frame this up a little bit and basically say that the internet is changing the world. No kidding, right? So I'm sure all of you guys have a smartphone and have the internet in the palm of your hand. But what maybe most of you guys don't realize is that right now we're really just seeing the impact and the change that the internet is making on the world. Now, I know a lot of you guys are using your social media and email and you use the internet every day, but there's a massive shift going on in the world in the way that everything is done. And really just the last couple of years has really started to be affected by this. And so I'm going to break that down, right? And it's changed obviously how we get information, right? We used to get it from the newspaper, the nightly news. Now, of course, we get information from everywhere. A 9-year-old girl on the beach in whatever is reporting the news, or I'm sorry, the weather, by posting stuff on social media. So we're getting information everywhere, right? It's changing how we do business now. A 13-year-old girl with an Instagram page can make $1 million versus having to start a business and get a building and get loans and hire people. And it's changing how we learn, which is one of the 7 reasons we're going to talk about what's happening with the colleges and universities. Now, the way that it's changed is that it gives us instant access to everything, right? So we used to have to wait till the nightly news came out. Now we're getting news all the time. I don't even need to tune into the news because on my Facebook, it's already telling me what the weather is. Everyone's posting the weather, right? So it's changed the way we do everything. We have instant access to everything. You want to know something? Boom, you can know it right now. And it's also changed the way that we learn because there's no memorization needed anymore. So, I have young kids and they're going through school and I'm still watching them go through this system and learning multiplication tables, right? They're memorizing all these facts. And it was actually Albert Einstein, way back when Einstein was around, he said that there was no reason to fill your head with a bunch of useless facts that you could easily look up in any book. Well, today you don't even have to go look up in a book, right? Today you can just pop open your phone and ask Siri, right, or whatever, and it should give you the answer. And so it's really the phone. It's really the instant access that's the university's biggest nightmare. And I'm going to break that down into 7 reasons. Now, reason number 1 is speed. All right, speed is one of the university's biggest problems. Speed is every college's worst nightmare because, like I said today, everything happens at lightning speed and things are evolving at lightning speed. So really the world had kind of remained unchanged. I mean, sure, we got industrialization and then we got cars, but really the way the world worked didn't really change until the internet. And again, we're just really starting to see that. And now today things are changing at a really rapid pace, and that's not good for universities. Universities are old. Universities are big. Universities are slow. They don't like speed. They can't keep up with speed, right? Right now, like I said, we can have anything in the palm of our hands and it's only accelerating, right? So there's a law, it's called Moore's Law. We use it in a bunch of things. And basically it just states, it's used mostly in technology and computing, but it says that speed and capability will 2x every 24 months. So every 24 months, we're doubling the speed and capabilities. And of course, the universities can't catch up with that. They can't keep up. Right? They're training, their education, even just the entire business model, the system has not kept up with that. So speed is the number 1 killer. Now, number 2 is that today, and again, just over the last couple of years, we learn different. We don't learn the same way that we used to anymore. And that's a good thing. We learn different, and it is what it is, and you can like it or not like it, but it is what it is, right? And so like I said before, memory isn't really needed anymore. Now, that is maybe also a bad thing. I think that now our brains need extra stimulus. So there's things that we need to do to counteract the crutch. So a phone is like a crutch. Like when I was a kid, we had to memorize all our friends' numbers. I mean, I had hundreds of phone numbers in my head. And today I know like my wife's phone number, and that's probably it. I don't even know my kids' phone numbers. So, the phone has become a crutch, and there's things that we need to do to counteract that. However, we just learn differently. The memory isn't that big thing anymore. Like I said, we have Alexa, we have Siri in the palm of our hands. I remember when I was a kid, it was always like, oh, well, I'll just pull out a calculator. And the teacher's like, well, you may not always have a calculator, but it's like, I do. I have a calculator in the palm of my hand all the time. And I can just say, Siri, what's 24,000 times 75? And it'll just give me the answer, right? And I can just have that, or any fact that I want, right? Who was the president in whatever. Anyway, you get the point. So, we have all that in the palm of our hand, and so we learn different. We don't have to rely on our memory. We don't have to rely on all that old learning, because now we have new stuff. And that's why the phone is the big enemy. So that's number 2. We learn different. We have access to information now. Reason number 3 that the universities and colleges should be scared, their worst nightmare, is that the curriculum is old. Now, we talked about speed, but really speed in that the curriculum is old. And part of it is that like teachers need to go back to school. And I'm sorry if you're a teacher, but a lot of teachers, they're just outdated today. Maybe they got their degree in 1988 or whatever, but like that's outdated. It's really outdated. The way that the world is evolving, like I said, it's 2xing every 24 months. And so 1980, it's outdated. And a lot of the teachers in the universities and the colleges, they're just teaching the curriculum. So it's like, hey, I'm not outdated. I'm just teaching the curriculum, but the curriculum's outdated as well, right? I mean, it takes a minimum of about 18 months to get a new curriculum through. And of course, Instagram or Google changes their algorithm like every year. So by the time they get this curriculum through and out, it's already outdated, it's obsolete, it's old. Whether you're going to school for programming or engineering or marketing or even business admin, it's all changing that fast that it's obsolete. My daughter's in high school and she's taking a class on social media marketing. And I'm like, great, that's awesome. I'd love to help you out with that. And it's so outdated. And the teacher actually told her, as she got up in front of the class, she said, look, guys, I'm just going to let you guys know right now that a lot of the information that we're learning is outdated. And, a lot of you guys are probably way more proficient in using social media than what the class covers, what the books cover. But, don't hold it against me. I'm just teaching you what the curriculum is. But think about that. Why? Why does she have to sit there and waste her time? Why do you want to go to college and waste your time learning outdated information that they already know is outdated? But again, it goes back to number 1, which is speed, and number 3, curriculum's old. All right, so number 4, number 4 reason why that's a nightmare for colleges is social media. All right, now social media is a tool, right? Like any tool can be used for good and bad. But one of the big advantages that colleges and universities always say is that you build your network. You meet people that you wouldn't normally meet, and you build these lifelong relationships, and basically it's your network. And that's true, that's true. A lot of times people move from a small town, they move to another college town, they meet people that they'll know for the rest of their life, and they do build that network. But today with social media, we build massive networks. And through social media, I can reach anybody that I want. On Twitter, on LinkedIn, I can ask questions directly to the CEO, to the founders, to the developers, to the programmers of any company I want. I'm on Twitter all the time, and follow me, shameless plug, #1 Mark Moss on Twitter, #1 Mark Moss, follow me there. But I'm on Twitter all the time, and I'm asking questions, I'm having discussions, I'm having debates with like anybody and everybody. I mean, Elon Musk is on there trading information on Twitter, so we can reach anybody we want. So my network has grown massive without me needing to go to college with Elon Musk, right? So social media has taken away one of the last advantages that college and universities could really hold on to. Of course, I'm going to miss out on all the parties, the frat parties, all the drugs, all that. I guess I'll miss out on that, but is that such a bad thing? Maybe not. It's 4 to 5 years of whatever, partying and also learning a bunch of stuff that maybe I don't really need to or want to learn about. That's number 4. Number five is that there's whole new business models today, all right? So the education system was, made to get us ready for jobs, but today the jobs have changed, and they're changing massively, and they're changing really, really fast. So again, the internet has changed the way that we work. It's allowed us to work remotely, and what that has done is it allowed us to open up jobs to a workforce, a global workforce. And per a report, they said by 2020, which is next year, 43% of all jobs will be gig jobs, all right? So what that means is, like, I'm an accountant, right? So I get hired to do accounting for this company, hired to do accounting for this one and this one. Those are gigs. They're only hiring me for my accounting work or whatever it may be that I do. I do graphic design. They're only hiring me for graphic design. Now, 43% of all jobs by next year. That's massive. That's a massive shift. And so what that means is that I really need to be specialized. There's obviously massive advantage to that. I can work from anywhere. I can set my own schedule most of the time. And like I said, I can really specialize in my tasks so I can get really, really good at it. And it can be anything, like I already said, like CPAs, project managers, accounting, design, any of that. But business has changed. There's new business models. The way that I want to give my services to employers has changed. The way that employers want to use my services has changed. And so college hasn't really kept up with that. So that's another one. Now, number 6, the sixth reason that colleges and universities should be really scared is because the requirements have also changed, all right? So this is the big one. The requirements have changed. Now, most people know, they've been, told their whole life that I have to go to school, get good grades so I can get a good job, right? Get in a good college, get a good job, etc. So having that college degree has become this big prerequisite for getting a good job. And that's one of the reasons that's pushed everybody into going to college, because they all have this hope of getting a better job. However, the requirements have changed. So not only has the jobs changed, the workforce changed, but now the requirements have changed. So now what we're starting to see is more and more companies are saying that they don't require college degrees anymore. Now, this may be new to you, but Google it. You can find a lot of references to it. Business Week did an article on it. One of the biggest job sites, Glassdoor, did a report on it. And they said that most firms are ditching that college requirement. And as a matter of fact, Google, Ernst & Young, IBM, Bank of America, Apple have all ditched the requirement for college degrees. Now, that, out of all the reasons, I got one more, but of all the reasons, that may be one of the biggest ones that the colleges and universities should be trembling in their boots. They should be scared, because if you don't require that anymore, then why would I go? Why would I go rack up $100,000 of debt if I don't need to? Of course, I wouldn't want to. I mean, if I just want to go party, I'll just take 20 grand and go travel around the world, right? So that's number 6. So the requirements are changing. Number 7, the 7th reason is that there's new ways to learn. Again, it kind of started out how we started at the beginning, that this new technology has changed things, but it's changed the way we learn. And there's 2 ways that I want to break that down. So new ways that we learn. First, the education system. If you go back and you understand what the education system really was for, there's a lot of reasons, but mainly it was for educating workers for the workforce. All right. But what's happening is what we're starting to see, this massive trend shift to where companies are now starting their own universities, right? So instead of the company saying, hey, universities, train all these students so they'll come work for us eventually, the companies are like, why? Everything they're learning is outdated. All they're doing is partying. Like, they're not the people that we want. We'd rather get them fresh and train them ourselves. Right? Think about that. It's a massive paradigm shift. So the companies are now starting universities, what's called corporate university. 10 years ago, there was about 400 of them. Today, there's over 1,600 of them. So they're growing super rapidly. 40% of Fortune 500 firms have some sort of corporate university. 40% already. Disney, Dell, Anheuser-Busch, Amazon, AT&T, Marriott Hotels, they all have corporate universities, and they'd rather just get you fresh, make sure you have good aptitude, make sure you have personality, things that you can get playing sports in high school, and they can take you and they can teach you what they want, and that way they've taught you everything. They've taught you to toe the company line, they've taught you the company culture, but most importantly, they've taught you the special things that you need to work there, right? So if you're working at Dell or Disney, I mean, they're teaching you exactly what they want for their thing, and normally it's not just professors there, it's actually employees that are doing the teaching. So it's changed the way that we're learning. Now, corporations want to just teach you, instead of like relying on the colleges to teach you outdated information, which makes sense. But the other way, the second way that we have a new way to learn is through private courses. And now this is going to be the big one I'm transitioning into. So we have private courses today. Now this is like how-tos, right? So how to do anything, how to do online advertising, how to do Facebook ads, how to sell products on Amazon, how to Shopify, how to be a virtual assistant, how to be a project manager, how to do video editing, and on and on and on. You get the idea, right? So now there's all these private courses where I can just take and learn the thing that I want to learn instead of learning all this extra stuff that I don't care about. If I want to go be a video editor, why don't I just be the best video editor in the world? Why do I have to learn about liberal arts, etc., right? If I just want to do marketing, let me just go learn marketing and figure that out, right? And so that's the other way, but the private courses, and that's what's going to open up this brand new industry I'm going to tell you about in a second. So hang on. All right. So the good and the bad. Now, everything has good and bad. We don't live in a vacuum, so everything has its pros and cons. Now, obviously the bad, it's super scary for universities and for colleges, and it should be. They're way too expensive. They're enslaving people with college debt, and it's pretty much ridiculous. Now, I get it. You still want to go to college and learn, and I'm 100% education. I love education. I have on my bookshelf here, you can see a couple, but I have a bookshelf over here with hundreds and hundreds of books. I love books, podcasts, YouTube videos. I love education. And I talk about the need for you getting education all the time. So I don't want to talk down education. But the way that we learn, the old systems, they're changing, they're dying, the world's evolving. And this is great for businesses. It's great for people like you and I, all right? It's really, really good for businesses because businesses will be able to get employees that are specialized in what they need, and it's really good for you and I because now we have way more opportunities. Now, the opportunities are, like I said, for businesses, they can get better trained employees, more specialty for their specific need. Like I said, breathing the company culture. But our opportunities is that one, we can save $100,000 on college. So that's a huge opportunity for me. I can learn any skill that I want. And sometimes, like I may want to go all in on marketing for a couple years and decide, you know what, I want to shift into PR, right? Press releases or whatever. I want to shift into branding. And so I can just learn those skills that I need as I go along. And that's good for me. And then I can find jobs that not only fit the lifestyle that I want, but also fit the interest that I want. Nobody wants to sit there and do a job that they hate. That's a non-starter. All these people that sit there and just wait their whole life for retirement. Like, why? Like, that means you're doing a job that you hate. So by this new world, this new economy, this new job market, we can learn skills that we want and apply them. And we're no longer stuck having to do jobs that we don't want to do if we don't have to, right? So hopefully you're liking this. Give me some thumbs up if you like it. If you don't, give me some thumbs down either way. Again, leave me some comments on this. Now, let me transition into the $150 billion industry that nobody's talking about yet. All right, and this is massive, and it's just barely starting. Now, nobody's really talking about this, but that doesn't mean it's not big. Like I said, it's over $150 billion today, and it's ripe for you to jump right into and make a lot of money with. Now, they say that by 2025, so in about 6 years from now, it's projected to be over 325 billion. So we're looking at, more than 100% growth in just the next 6 years. It's an amazing opportunity, and basically there's enough room for everybody. And what it is it's the information industry, the eCourse industry, the digital course industry. That's what I'm talking about. Now, everybody has information inside of them. You have some information. You have something that you're really good at that you could teach somebody. You may be really good at organizing houses and offices. You might be really good at this unique workout. You might be really good at project management. You might be really good at whatever. Everybody has something that they're really good at, and you can take that information, put it together in a little course, how to shoot weddings, with how to do a videographer for weddings, right? How to do photo shoot for teenage prom, or whatever it is. And you can put that together in a little course and you can sell that. You can do that in a couple of days, and then that course becomes a digital course that now can make revenue for a long time, for years and years and years, until that information gets outdated. You have to update it a little bit. But that is the industry that's growing super fast. And the reason why is because the way that we consume information has changed, right? Now people want to specialize in stuff, and this industry is going to grow so fast, and you can jump in, you can take advantage of it. So hopefully that sounds good to you. I know it sounds good to me. I've been doing it for a long time. I've been in the internet space for over 15 years. So it's not super new to me, but I want to continue to share the news on that because it's such a massive opportunity. So if you want to know more about it, leave me questions down below. I'd love to answer those for you. Leave me your questions so I can answer them. Give me thumbs up if you like this. If you don't like it, again, give me thumbs down. Either way, I want your feedback so I know what kind of videos to bring back for you next time. And that's it. All right, to your success. I'm out.